I'm not really sure if I'm doing this right or not. I have no idea if you guys can hear me. I know the screen looks really weird. No clue. I'm trying to play it on my phone now, see if I can figure out if this is working or not. It says I'm live, but I'm not seeing anything. It says it's public. Can anybody hear me? Is anybody on? Oh, hang on. Okay, I think we're live. 'Cause I think we're live because I can see it on my phone now. I know you guys can hear me. I'm sorry about the colors of the room. I changed a setting somewhere. I don't know how I changed it back. I'm learning. So today we're going to be finishing up this quilt block. I made one. We're going to make two more. This is the second quilt block that we did in the video that went live this last week. And so that's what we're going to be working on today. So if you're here with me, please say hi, because right now it looks like there's only one viewer, and that would be me. So say hi. I'll keep an eye on chat, and we'll go from there. Hopefully this works. I have no idea how long this live stream will be, because it just depends on how much I get done, how much I can see on the screen, that kind of jazz. Yeah, so we'll go from here. So very first live, guys. I have no idea what I'm doing. Absolutely no idea. So we're gonna go with the flow and see what happens. So come on, let's go. All right, so I made one yesterday, and I'm gonna kind of use that as my template just to make sure that I have all the pieces in the right order. So I'm just gonna set that there. Actually, no, I'm not gonna set that there because that's gonna be in the way. I have my handy dandy hanger. I will hang it on the hanger. And that will give me enough colors. Oops. And we'll go from there. A couple of clips. These Wonder clips are amazing. You can use them for just about anything, including clipping things on a hanger. Let me grab some more though. As you guys can tell, I was not planning to go live. I promise the next time I'll be a little more organized. But the button showed up, so I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" And so I thought, "Oh, what the hell? We'll try it. We'll see what happens." Okay, so that's hanging up over there, so I can actually see it now. Fix my chair. So yeah, I don't have a video recorded for this week yet. I had some stuff I had to finish up, and I wanted to get the pieces done for the quilt we were working on last week. So I finished those pieces, and now I'm gonna do the second one to give myself something to do. And then we have Clue 8 came in the mail, so I'm probably gonna do a video on Clue 8 this week, and then yeah, we'll finish up the table runner once the backing comes in. I ordered it yesterday, so it'll probably be in hopefully by next week. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, let's work on this. If you guys have any questions or you want to chat about, tell me what you guys are doing, what you're working on. I'm all ears. I'd love to see or at least hear what you guys are working on. So please put something in the chat. Let me know that you're there and what you're doing. So let's get to going. I have a light here. The camera's kind of blurry. No, I'm not really sure why. The lighting is just horrendous, and I don't know what I did to change the lighting. I really have no idea what I did to change that. I have no clue. I think I changed a setting somewhere, and now I couldn't possibly tell you where I changed it or how to change it back. So we're unfortunately just gonna have to deal with the horrible lighting today. Sorry, guys. I promise I will get better at this. Okay. So first thing, as I mentioned in the video, we're gonna flip all these out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And right now I'm just kind of flipping them all so that they're all facing the same direction. I will lay them out and I'm a little bit better in a minute. I learned quite a few lessons with the last video. The dogs are in the background. There must be a squirrel. It's turning spring out here, so the squirrels are out. So the dogs are barking. But anyway, I learned quite a few lessons from the last video of things I should be doing differently. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, uh-oh. I am short pieces. Well, that's not good. Apparently I didn't learn enough lessons. Because I'm short pieces, because there's only 8 here and there should be 11. Fabulous. Oh, there's only 8. There should be 11. Wonderful. Alright, so which ones am I missing? Let's see. I'm missing 2 1.5s and the 1 inch. So I do have some extra pieces here. Let me just check and make sure that I've got everything I need for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so this one's right. I am just apparently short for this one. So I need 2 1.5 inch pieces, 2 1.5s, and a 1. So that's 3 pieces. 1. And these are 2 inch, I think. No, these are my 3 inches. Those are not my extras. Where are my extras? 3. Yeah. That's what I got. Extras. Gosh, I hope I have enough extra. I guess we're gonna find out. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining me. I'm not sure what VUN means. Is that fun? Or are you not able to hear me? If you can let me know, that'd be great. And thanks for joining. My like I said, my picture is terrible. I have no idea what I did, but I did something. But thanks so much for joining. Very first live stream. No idea what I'm doing. So if you can help, that would be great. Okay, so I think these were 2 inch pieces. Yeah, these are 2 inch. So I need 2 1.5 and then a 1 inch piece. Set those aside. So I have my handy dandy little cutter here. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, and you haven't watched any of my videos before, you may know that I work in a very, very small sewing space. The second bedroom in my home. It's actually the same bedroom as my daughters are in. This is actually her bed. She's away at college right now, so she's been kind enough to let me use her room while she is away. So I have very limited space that I get to work with. This is a sewing cabinet here. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, I'll probably do a tour. If that's probably a good word. Although there's not really a whole lot of space here, so a little tour is not that great. But I wish I knew what that VUN meant. I'd really like to know. Anyway, let's keep going. Gosh, again, I hope you guys can hear me okay. All right, let me grab a ruler. Okay, so I need two 1.5s and then a 1 inch. Now these are extra pieces that I thought were extra, but it turns out they're not extra. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut those pieces up. This here. Oh, yeah. We're gonna get going. So I'm gonna cut these into 1.5s. Yesterday, I was watching some old live streams from Sobecca's channel. I have her listed in my recommended channels if you guys haven't already checked her out. I was watching one of her live streams and she was talking about her Martelli rotary cutter. And I've thought about it before, getting one. But I haven't really bit the bullet on it because it's kind of pricey. So I want to need another 1.5. So I haven't really bought one because it's pretty pricey. But yesterday, when I was watching her channel, I decided to just check Amazon just to see what the price of them was, and it turns out that they were on sale for only like 20 bucks, and that's pretty cheap because these are like normally about $20. So I bought one. So it's supposed to show up today. So I'm excited to check that out. I'll have to let you guys know how that works out. We'll mess with it on our next video. These are little 1/2 inch pieces. Some people keep these as crumbs. I'm just not. I don't have that much patience. So there's our two 1.5s, and then I need a 1 inch. All right, 1 inch piece. All right, so this is actually an extra 1 inch piece. So I'm going to put this with my extras because the 1 inch piece I can still work with. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'll put it with my extra pieces and we'll see what we do with it later. I use little post-it notes. I take a standard post-it note and I break it up into 4 little pieces. And I put, you guys probably can't see that, but it says extra. Oh gosh, this camera is terrible. I will get better. I have a different camera that I'm going to try next time. I will figure out how to do this setting thing later. I promise it. I will get better. But thanks for joining me. At least for my first ever one. No idea what I'm doing. Okay, so those are cut. So let's check out and see if we got all the right pieces this time. Here's our 1 inch. And our 1.5. 1.5. And let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. Yay, 11 pieces. Okay, so now we have to, now that we've got them all laid out here, now we've got to get them laid out according to the quilt top. Now, I know you guys can't see that there. Can you see it there? Kind of. See, I don't have, this is not a quilting wall. This is just a curtain. So, well, you guys will just have to trust me. I'll have something set up better the next time. Okay, so first things first, all of these green on the bottom. Okay, so this one here is all the way like this. And this one is a stripe. Now I'm just going to kind of lay these out based on what I did before so that I have them all fixed up. And then checkerboard here like that. And stripes. And then green here. Like that. Okay. And then we go back up. So right now I'm just laying out the pieces so that I know how to pull the seams out for them. I'm sorry for those of you who don't know already or who didn't watch my previous video. We're working on a Bargello table runner in spring colors. I have a different color set of colors that I worked with on the video, and I don't want to work on that one today. I finished all the pieces for that so I can finish the video up for you guys. But this is the second colorway that we were working with during that video. This is that top section of colors. So I'm just finishing this one up. And like I said, I did order background fabric for both of these in the same fabric line. This is Robert Kaufman's Flower House lilac version. I know in the video I said it was a lilac color story, but that's not actually true. I did a little bit more research and it turns out this is called the Flower House line. So I picked out another fabric to go for the backing. I think it'll look really pretty. It's a white background with some green and purple flowers. So I'm hoping that'll work really well. And so once the background comes in, then I'll record another video of finishing the top up. But we're gonna go ahead and finish the whole top of this one today. I don't know how much of it we'll get to today, but we'll have to wait and see. Hi, Irving. Thanks for joining me. I'm not sure what VUR life means, but I really appreciate you joining me today. Thank you. We're just working on this table runner. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the seams out of the pieces here before we sew them up. All right, first one done. What are you guys working on today? It is Sunday, late morning here where I am at. We just had a virtual breakfast with my with our children. My husband and I have a virtual breakfast with most of our kids because they're all away at school, except for our youngest. So once a month we have a virtual breakfast, which is really nice because we used to do Sunday morning breakfast when all the kids were home. And so now we are able to continue that tradition, which is really kind of nice. We finished that up, and then I came in here in my quilt room, which is also my daughter's bedroom. I came in here to finish up this project, and that's when I saw that YouTube was letting me go live. So I figured, what the heck, I'll give it a shot. We'll see how this goes, and I'll probably do something else another time. Maybe something a little more organized another day. If you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. I try and post sewing and quilting videos at least once a week. Um, Preferably, I'd like to do it twice a week. This week is going to be a little different. I've got some personal stuff going on that kind of make it a little difficult to post a video this week, but I'm going to do my best. And I'm actually home on Wednesday this week, so I might do another live. Who knows? Depends on what I got going on. I got a bunch of projects lined up. I'll start on something. Maybe I'll start on a project that's just a live project, instead of a video. I don't know. Alright, there's that one. And now as I'm pulling the seams out, I'm just kind of laying them right back down in the order that they go in so that I don't get all messed up, because that's kind of what happened in my video. That's why I made so many mistakes in my videos, because I was not paying enough attention to what I was doing. I was more worried about the camera and the angle and things like that than I was about what I was doing in the quilt. So my fault. But I learned a lot of lessons. This is not my first Bargello. I made a king size one before. You guys have seen that one in the channel's thumbnail. Um, that one sits at my sister's house. So, all right. So now we've reached the middle section. So now we're going to go back up the other way. So I just need to make sure that I'm lining these up correctly. So we're going to go back up. Got a little piece there. And then we will get started. I have no idea what the machine is going to sound like on a live video because it's pretty loud. I usually am turning the volume down when I'm recording it, when I'm doing the editing for the machine, because it's pretty loud. I do have a separate mic on right now, so I'm hoping that the mic doesn't pick it up as badly as the video does, but I really don't know what I'm doing here, guys. So I have no idea what it's going to sound like, so if it's really loud and obnoxious, I'm really, really sorry. Um, if it's too loud, please let me know so I can mute the mic while I'm sewing or whatever. Or I'll try to talk over it or something. This is all a learning curve. We're gonna learn this. We're gonna learn. Oops. Okay, there's that one. Two more. Now the second colorway that we were working with, the second set of strips that we worked with, the Bargello pattern that we were going for, it after making this first block, it's not as prominent as the other colorway that we were working with. You can't really see it as well. And so I thought about just changing what I was doing entirely at one point in time, but I decided to stick with it. You know, not every project that you do you're gonna love. Um, but you know, just because you don't love it, somebody else might. So I didn't think about it, but I probably should move my iron. Hmm. I have a little one I could probably plug in that we could use. My ironing station is actually set up on my work desk because this is also my office as well. So it's my daughter's bedroom, it's my sewing room, and it's my office for when I work remote. So the ironing station is actually set up behind the camera for you guys. Um, and I'm not sure I want to keep getting up to use the iron. So I do have a little one somewhere that I could try to find. Of course, the Panasonic I have is cordless, so I could just bring it down here and set it down here somewhere. I have a little shelf sitting down here. So. Okay, so pizzas are all lined up. Um, Now we get to sewing. Let's see how this goes. Again, guys, the video quality is terrible. I know this, and I'm really, really sorry. I don't know how to fix it. But I'll work on it. I promise. There's got to be some type of auto setting on it that's just horrendous. But for now, I appreciate you guys sticking with me for today, and we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, I want to do this. Um, as I mentioned in the video, I'm back tacking at the edges just so that because there's so many cut pieces here, I don't want it to fall apart. So I am back tacking when I'm sewing these strips up together. So let's see how this works. One of the bad things about the Bargellos is that there is a lot of nesting of seams. So if you guys are not good with the seam nesting just yet, I would definitely hold off on maybe doing this pattern for just a little bit longer until you guys can really get going. I don't know why I have this on top chat. Hang on, sorry. There we go, live chat. Okay. Oops. Oh my. There we go. All right, first strip done. Now I'm just gonna finger press it. I've been finger pressing them all to one side. It doesn't really matter because we're going to sew them all together anyway. So I'm just going to finger press it real quick to one side. And then when I'm done with the block, then I actually give it a nice hard pressing. Okay, so I'm just going to keep sewing these strips up together. Why do I feel like this is all wrong? Well, it wouldn't be a So Expert channel without an error, right, guys? I sewed the strip on upside down. Yep. So see, guys, it's not just on the videos. I make mistakes all the time. So, seam ripper back out, and we'll pull these apart real quick. You guys think I'm kidding when I tell you I'm not an expert. I really am not an expert at all. Not even close. No. I think the next time if I do this again, which I probably will, but I think the next time I'm gonna try hooking up my other webcam. This camera is the onboard camera for my laptop, and I'm sure it's not the greatest one in the world, so that's probably some of the quality issues you guys are seeing. And then somehow when I set it up, I hit a button of some kind to do something with the camera quality and some type of filter or something, and I can't figure out how I turned it on, so I can't figure out how to turn it off. But these walls here, for those of you who have never seen my channel, these walls here are a really bright lime green, so I don't understand why they're turned peach in the video. It's awful. So anyway, so let's flip this strip around and sew it again. I should have figured this out when all the pieces weren't lining up right. You know me. So, like I was mentioning before, I'm getting that Martelli cutting wheel. I'm really excited to try that. I've heard it takes a little bit to get used to at first, but it's supposed to be much better for people that suffer from carpal tunnel, which I do. Um, I haven't never had surgery. I'm not at that point that I would need surgery yet. I'm sure that there are many people out here who have had to have surgery because of it, but I have not yet. But I'm told that it's really good for that and um, just more ergonomic. So I'm excited to try that out. So Becca was chatting about it on one of her live streams a couple of days ago. She is an ambassador for it. Oh, jeez. There we go. So see, guys, even if you're not good at sewing like me, you can still make a quilt. And for the most part, the mistakes are usually hidden in the seams, so you don't really notice them too much. Not a single one of my quilt projects is perfect, but I think they turn out pretty well, and most of the time nobody notices um, the mistakes. But you just keep practicing, you just keep going at it. I've only been doing quilting stuff for a couple years. That's why I don't consider myself an expert at all. Maybe someday. I think I ran out of bobbin. No, I didn't run on the bobbin. I wonder why it's not spinning. Um, hmm, okay, let me check my bobbin. Yeah. Okay, so I did run out of the bobbin. I had this much left. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's like here. I'll hold down on both ends. This much. That's all I had left for the bobbin. So I won that race. I always keep a spare bobbin wound on the top of my machine. So then that way I always have one at the ready. And now that this one is empty, I will wind it again. So we're probably going to need it. So I'll do that later. I'm not going to do that right now. There we go. My machine is not one of those fancy ones that tells you when the bobbin's low. It's fancy, but it's not that fancy. Hi, Lucas. Thanks for joining me. I have no idea what I'm doing. The camera quality is awful. I hit a button somewhere. I have no idea. But thank you anyway for popping in. You're welcome to stay. And as tradition with my normal channel, I have already made my first mistake. So you didn't miss much. All right, next one. This time I want to make sure that I put it on the correct way. Learn from your mistakes. So let's make sure I'm doing this right. Yep, this way is the right way. So. Okay. Let's see. Match up those seams. So if you're just joining me, we're working on a Bargello table runner. I had started one in my last video. We had actually pulled out 2 sets of strips for the table runner. The first set we worked on in the video, and the second set I said I was going to work on at another time. And so now is that other time. So if you're just joining, that's what we're doing. I've already made one. It's hanging over here, which I know you guys can't see, but it's hanging over here. And then we're working on the second one right now. I've cut up all the strips already. For this one, we've already lined them all up, and I'm just sewing up the first set. As soon as it's done here, I will show you guys what it looks like. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing. I try to post videos at least once a week. Yeah, once a week as life allows. I'm basically a weekend sewer. I don't do a whole lot during the week because I have a lot of other things I do during the week. If you guys have any questions for me, please put them in the chat. Let's hang out. What kind of UFOs are you guys working on today? Today is Hobby Sunday at my house. It's kind of a tradition we've had in our house for a long time. I think hobbies are important. So all my kids had a hobby. Some of them have stuck with them, some of them have not. But that's okay. But they all had one. And I think for the most part, they were all pretty different too. 2 of them had a sewing hobby, so they were working on, different projects. Usually clothing projects, mostly, boxers and pajama pants and things like that. I had another one that she was into scrapbooking, card making. I have another daughter who was into painting and drawing. And then our youngest is into gaming right now. That's her big thing. Um, I think she's just kind of feeling it out, trying to figure out what she really likes to do, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody really knows what they like doing right away. So if you're joining in, please make sure you say hi in the chat so I can say hi to you on the air. I'd love to know you're here, and I'd love even more to know what you guys are working on. So. And again, if you're just joining me, I apologize for the horrible video quality. I have managed to hit a button somehow. I am not technical savvy. This is all really new to me, and so I've managed to hit a button somehow and change the video settings to apply some type of a filter um, that has turned my lime green walls into some type of horrible peachy gray. It's really gross. So I promise I will figure that out for the next one. But I was just gonna go with it for this one, and we'll do something else another time. Since this is the first one, I figure you guys will be kind and let me get away with this one. And I promise I'll get better. Just sewing up these strips here. There's a lot of matching seams in a Bargello because every strip is 2.5 inches and then we cut it. So there's a lot of matching seams, and I think that one of the strips that I've added to this quilt is just a touch under the 2.5 inches width because it was cut from yardage, so it's causing me a little bit of trouble. But when I press it all out, I'm kind of able to stretch it a little bit and then use some steam, and it seems to even itself out a little bit. So it's going to be a little puckery, I guess, but once you wash it, it all kind of gets a little bit better. All right, now we're just going to finger press this one and keep going. If you're a subscriber to my channel and you've watched some of my videos, I'd love to know what you think of them so far. What you think I can improve on, what you like about them, maybe some project suggestions. So now is a great time to bring those up to me and to let me know what's what and how I can improve. Checking to make sure I did this the right way again. Yes, I did. Yay. Ooh, that was a little fast, wasn't it? Should probably turn the speed down a little bit. I have a tendency to have a little bit of a lead foot, so that's why I have a machine where I can adjust the speed on, because otherwise I have a tendency to try and fly through, and it doesn't turn out well. Go slow. Take your time. There's nothing wrong with going slow. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, Lucas, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. That's really great. I'm glad that you like the videos. That's very sweet. I do try to show the process of my videos, yeah, because I mean, I'm not an expert by any means, but I think it's important that we all learn how to do them. And that's why I also try to give you guys links, or let you know the resources that I've used to get to those pieces. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right. I hear my husband just walked in the door. He went to go get a haircut, so I'm sure you'll hear him chatting in the background again. I don't have ghosts, I promise. It's just him and the dogs. We are already halfway through this first block here, guys. I am already done with the 1 inch strip, and now we're gonna go back the other direction with the other size strips. So we're already halfway done with this first block. That'll be fun. But don't worry, we still have one more block to go. And somehow I've managed, once again, to mess up this. Okay, there we go. I hold it really tight. It'll go through. There we go. All right. Like I said, I have this one strip here that was cut from yardage, and I'm pretty sure that I cut it wrong. I don't think it's quite 2.5 inches wide. I think it's only like 2 1/4. And so it's a quarter of an inch off, which you wouldn't think a quarter of an inch would be that big of a deal, but it really is when everything else is 2.5. So the pieces kind of get a little scrunched up together. Okay, come on. There we go. Pieces kind of get a little scrunched up, but they should all kind of even themselves out when we iron it, because then the fabric will be softer and we can kind of push and pull on it to get it to do what we need. And the important part right now is just getting those seams lined up. And if my video camera wasn't as horrible, if my video quality wasn't this terrible, I would show you guys how I match up the seams, but I don't know what I did. I will figure it out. I will figure it out. Hold the phone. Oh, okay. I thought I messed up again, but I didn't, so that's good. At least not this time. I have so many projects in the works, guys. Well, not in the works, but lined up for these videos. There's just so many of them. I have some Halloween runners. I have some 4th of July runners, which I think that I'm going to be able to do another one of those. I have some Christmas stuff. I have just a ton of stuff lined up. And then I have a big quilt project that I'm going to be working on. I picked out some fabric and a pattern. This is quite a while ago. But I think that if this live thing works out for me, I think I might actually do it on a live, and it will just be the live stream project. So that could be kind of fun. That way it's not really a video, because with the big quilts, it's kind of hard to do them, at least for me anyway. It's kind of hard for me to do them as a video because they take a long time. They're not a 1-day project or a 2-day project. They're a couple of weeks project. Okay, so here's the next strip. And I just realized that I don't have my water bottle. So I'm going to put you guys on a pause for just a moment, and I'm going to go grab my water bottle because I need it. So I will be right back. Okay, sorry guys, I had to get my water bottle. And see, this is how terrible the video quality is. The bottle looks blue in that video, but it's purple. Oh well, it is what it is. All right, so back to work. I will figure out this camera thing. I swear I will figure it out. The only bad part about streaming on YouTube is that because of the copyright stuff, I can't play any music in the background. So that's kind of dumb. But I was actually thinking about doing a Twitch stream, but that's more gaming than it is crafting. But at least then that way I could play some music in the background and you guys could hear that. I just couldn't replay it on YouTube. But who knows? We'll see. Walk before you can run, right? Walk before you can run. Oh boy. Those are my dogs. Yeah, the dogs are barking again. Oh well. All right. Let's just keep going. Match up that seam. we go. So I think before I take a break, I was telling you guys about all the new projects that I've going, or I have ready to go. I'm not one of those people that likes to buy fabric just to buy fabric. I prefer to buy fabric with a project in mind, because otherwise I probably will go crazy with the amount of fabric I buy. That's not to say that I don't have extra fabric for things. I just try not to buy extra fabric for things. If that makes any sense. So I have, I don't know, like 5 or 6 projects that we can work on. The more I think about it, the more I think I'm gonna work on that quilt project. It's so pretty. It's a multicolored quilt top with a black, I think it's black, the black background. So and that one, you guys will be able to be with me if I do it on live, or a few lives, because it won't be just one. But if I do it on some live streams, then that way we can kind of do the whole process, the cutting and the sewing and everything else. So that'll be fun. We'll try it, see how it works out. All right. I've got 3 more to go before this block is done, and then we have 1 more block to do, and then we can sew all the blocks up together. So I'm gonna be here for a little while. I think that one of the other YouTubers, I want to say Sobecca, or maybe Stephanie, one of them I think goes live at 11 Eastern. Um, I don't necessarily want to compete with them. I'm not competing with them. I don't have nearly the amount of people watching as they do. But if you're looking for an expert channel to watch, you should definitely check them out. I'm really, really enjoying watching Sobecca. I'm new to her channel. I just started watching her channel a couple months ago. Maybe it's been longer than that, 4 or 5 months ago, maybe. But I really like her channel. I like her philosophy on how she does things and why she does them. Um, her quilting studio is a dream come true. And it really is a dream. And I'm still waiting for Stephanie Stitch's project box to go live. She said originally she was going to be doing an Easter project box that she was going to be releasing in February, but I haven't seen it go live yet. And my guess is that probably has something to do with, all the supply chain issues fabric is just as affected as everything else. I heard that sewing machines are even a big issue right now. I mean, everything is really an issue. So maybe that's why she hasn't posted it yet. But if she does, I promise you guys I will see if I can snag up one that we can work on together. My guess is it probably won't be an Easter box anymore if we're already close to Easter. Does anybody even know when Easter is? Is it in April or is it in March this year? I want to say it's in April, but I'm not sure. If you know, if you could put a note in the comments, that'd be great. Because I honestly don't know. So slow moving process today. These Bargellos are really slow moving because there's so many matching seams. Not all of the projects that I work on take this long, but I really like the design of the Bargello. I always have. But it's a tough one. I mean, if I can do it, I'm sure you guys can do it. But it's a challenge. You really got to pay attention to what you're doing. And April 17th. Thank you, Lucas. April 17th. I figured it was in April. Wow, that's pretty late. Well, I mean, they keep getting later and later. It's like, I remember when when Easter was around my daughter's birthday. I have twin daughters. Their birthdays at the end of March, and I remember when Easter used to be right around their birthday, and it was always like, really, I got Easter baskets and birthday gifts, and it was a lot to struggle with. So then, now all of a sudden they're in April, which is actually closer to my mom's birthday. My mom's birthday is towards the end of April, so I should probably come up with a gift for her, huh? I think I have. We could probably, what we could probably do? We could probably make her some pot holders because I am gonna have enough extra fabric, and I have some Insulbrite, I think it's what it's called. We could make her some pot holders. That could be fun. Do that as a quick live project. That could be fun too. All right, 2 more to go, guys. 2 more, and then you can see what it looks like. And I'm gonna have to do something with the iron. I think I'm just gonna bring it over here, and because the cutting board I was using, that blue cutting board I was using earlier, it doubles as a pressing mat. It's really kind of neat. It was super great when I went to my local quilt shop. They had a free sew day, so you basically you reserve a spot, and then for free, and you just go in and you start sewing on whatever you've got. And so I brought that with me. I've only done one. It's hard to believe this, guys, but I'm actually pretty shy. I don't really like talking to people. I actually get pretty anxious about it. So I did it. I went to that class. I did fine. Everybody there was really nice. Nobody was mean or anything. I kind of hid in a corner, did my own thing. I brought my headphones with me and was listening to music basically the entire time where they were all talking. And it's definitely an older crowd at the quilt store that I go to. So I don't really have the same subjects to chat about that they do, and I'm not one for just idle chatter. I can talk to myself for days on it. That's why YouTube is probably a perfect platform for me because I'm literally talking to myself for days on end. But talking to other people is surprisingly a little more difficult, which you'd think it wouldn't be in my line of work, my corporate job, but it is. So, but anyway, it works really great for that. I picked it up on Missouri Star Quilt, Missouri Star Quilt Company. I picked it up for pretty cheap. It was on sale for like $6 or $8 one day, and so I grabbed it. I'll show it to you guys in just a minute when I pull it out. So I promise the next time I go live, I'll actually have it like a chat bot and stuff. I literally downloaded the streaming software about 10 minutes before I went live because apparently you need a streaming software. So I promise I'll play around with that a little bit more. I'll have a chat bot, maybe some games or something going so that we have a little bit more to fill the space. I got to figure out how all that works. As a reminder, if you haven't already, when you were watching my last video, I have a giveaway going for a cute little pocket-sized calendar. So if you're interested in that, make sure you put a comment on that video so that I can send that off to you. I can only send it within the US. I can't send it overseas right now. So, or internationally right now. I think I need to be a little bit more successful than I am now to be able to do that. And I also mentioned in my video that I was considering opening an Etsy shop, not to sell, fabric or notions or any of that, but just to sell the projects that we work on the channel. Excuse me, if they're not already intended for another person as a gift. I actually opened the shop. Well, I shouldn't say I opened the shop. I started the shop. I haven't actually opened it because I don't have anything to put in it yet. Um, maybe this top will be in there. Maybe this table runner will end up in there. Who knows? But I've got a lot of scrap pieces from the various quilts we've been working on. And so I want to make a bunch of pot holders. I have a bunch of Insulbright to make the pot holders with to sell on there. One of these days I want to learn how to make pencil cases because those are a pretty big one. And then there's always the scrunchies too that I could do as well. And so all those kinds of pieces will probably end up on the shop. Once it's live, I'll let you guys know. It's not right now. Alright, this is the last strip. And then, like I said, I'm going to have to set up that iron behind you. Well, not physically behind you, but behind the camera. I was so proud of myself last week. I made business cards for my YouTube channel, and they have a QR code on them. I was so proud of myself that I figured out how to do it. I'm going to hand them out to some of the people in my office, just because then that way I have somebody to hand them out to. I was really proud of that. It was fun. I'm really enjoying all of the things that I'm learning from this YouTube channel. Um, I have no. I'm definitely not doing this to make any money, that's for sure. Because I'm not of any false pretenses that I'm actually going to make any money off of this channel for any, if ever, amount of time. I'm just more doing it, I don't know, just to kind of to share the passion of it, to share the the love for it. Okay, well, guys, walk is done. I guess it doesn't really matter which way it goes. It's gonna go this way or this way, but probably gonna go this way. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. But there's the block. I need to iron it up because it's kind of puffy right now. So I'm gonna go behind the camera just for a second, and I'm gonna grab the iron, and I'm probably gonna knock something over and make lots of noise because that's how I roll. And then I'll put it over here somewhere so that we can get it warmer. Maybe I'll put it down here. Yeah, I'll probably put it down here so that we can get it warm. So I'm gonna move this stuff over here. So much stuff. Okay. I know you guys are hearing a bunch of noises and I'm not really doing anything. I'm sorry. All right, let me grab the iron from behind you. Hopefully I don't knock anything over. Camera's gonna move. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know if you could see my head, but again, I'm sorry. There we go. There we go. All right, iron is on. Sit back down. Okay. See, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so what I was saying, the quilters cut and press is what I was using before. So I was using the blue background, the blue part, which is the actual cutting mat, and then there's a white part that's a pressing mat. So that's kind of cool. And it's, it's a 12 by 12, or it says 10 by 10, but it's a 12 by 12. So it's nice little small size. It actually fits in my sewing case, my sewing machine case. Fits nice in there, so I just kind of slide it in the back. I also have a book one somewhere. I don't know where that one's at. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I also have a book one that's just it's like a book. You know, it's got a little Velcro piece on it. It's got cutting that out on one side and pressing that on the other. I really like that one. That one fits really nice inside of the um, sewing machine case. These jelly roll strips just get everywhere. And I know I mentioned it in a couple of videos before. I have these because it's just everywhere. I'm waiting for the iron to warm up in case you're wondering what I'm doing. Like if you guys could see my pants, they're full of strings. All right, iron is hot. So we're just gonna iron this up real quick. That is one of the nice things about having the cordless iron, is that you can basically use it anywhere. I have a little mini one. I don't know what I did with it. It's probably in my sewing bag. Then I can usually set up right up here on this counter. But that one's good for little piecing, but it's not really great for the blocks. So this block is a little bit bigger than a 12 by 12, so I kind of have to do it in 4 sections. But that's okay. And who knows, maybe one of these days I'll get so fancy I'll have like multiple cameras going and stuff. That would be pretty cool. Let's walk before we can run though. Right. Almost. One more. All right. There we go. Oh, all right. Second block, I guess, is all done up. So I'm going to add it to this one here. And then we'll work on the third, and then we'll put all of the pieces together. That'll be exciting. Well, that's good. Blocks are the same size. I did something right. Okay, now we start the process all over again. This way. Yikes. So these are everywhere. These are just everywhere. Okay. That one down there. Grab this one. Extra. Those are the 3-inch pieces that we're going to need. So if you're watching this live stream now, then you will already know how we're going to be putting together the quilt top on my next video on my next project video. I have a cotton cuts video that'll come out first for clue 8, and then we'll do the next project video after the backing shows up for this other one. But you'll already know how to do it. I'll lay these out like we did before. Flip them all over. Right now I'm just laying them all out so that they're all facing the same direction. And we will spin them around once they're all laid out. It was supposed to snow today. It was so nice yesterday. Oh my goodness. And I spent all day inside the quilt room. Inside my sewing room. I mean, I did step outside a couple times just to kind of let this feel the sun on my face, but for the most part, I spent the day inside here working on these pieces, which is my own fault. I should have probably gone outside. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I was thinking if it's nice enough outside and it's not too windy or too buggy, because I hate bugs, I might actually move my machine outside when it's nice outside. That could be a lot of fun. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and spin these around so that they're laid out correctly based on what we did before. I have found that to be the easiest way to do this. Otherwise, I get lost and confused and I make mistakes. So this one, and this one, and as I mentioned before, if you guys watched my previous video, you would have been able to see the fabric. You really can see that movement happening, and that's the whole point of the Bargello. And then this one, because of the colors that we've chosen, because they're all kind of dark colors and kind of busier colors, there's no variegated, movement of colors. It's a little bit harder to see that movement, but that's okay. I think it'll still turn out pretty. It'll just be it'll be a little busy for sure, but I think it'll still turn out okay. What am I doing? I'm not paying attention again. Talking and there we go. I learned this lesson after I did the video. Lay all the pieces out first, double check them and make sure, then pull the seams. I totally confused myself with the video as to what I was supposed to be doing. Okay, so let me just make sure we got it going down and then going back up. Awesome. All right, so now we pull the seams. Up and there. Go over here. Start with this one. So I usually pull the first 4 or 5 seams out, and then I turn the seam ripper upside down so the red ball is at the bottom and the hook part is at the top. And I turn the seam so this is the salvage edge is at the top, and then I'm going to put the stitching in the circle here, in the actual cutter portion here. I'll line it up like that. Then I take my thumb on my finger and I just hold it, and then I'm just kind of pushing this seam ripper forward. Now be careful because sometimes the tip of it will start to poke through the fabric, so I just go a little bit at a time. Some people are, super fast and they just go shh, and they're really fast about it. But me, I take my time because I'm not an expert. So again, pull a couple of pieces out, 3 or 4, whenever you want really, and then flip it over, and then just gently run the seam ripper through it, like that. And if you watched the video, you saw that we sewed all these strips up with a really short seam length. I think I used 1.6. So then that way the pieces wouldn't come apart easily. So that they stay together a little bit better. They will still come apart a little bit, but just not as badly as if you were to use the bigger stitch lengths. And I'm sure she's already made an appearance in the video and I just haven't, or in this live stream, and I just haven't seen her. But Angel is with us today. She is currently on the floor climbing around. I'm sure at some point she will make her presence known. She's rather enjoying being a YouTube star. Poked through. And all right, we are at the halfway point. Okay, now we go back up. I think it's this one. I'll probably do it wrong. There we go. Then we have this one. It's always good when you have the first block done because then you kind of have that to use as a template. That first block is always a challenge to remember which way to go with it. Oops. No, green. Yeah, it's this one here. Well, according to YouTube, I've officially been live for an hour and a half. I don't think it was quite half an hour and a half. I think it was more like an hour, but who knows? But either way, that's exciting. Again, apologize for the quality of the video. It's terrible. I will figure out what I did wrong. Have more time to mess with it. So you might see some random live streams again during the week as I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. 2 more strips to pull apart and then we can sew the piece back up together. In my first video, when I was talking about what it is about quilting that I really love, and one of those things is taking these beautiful fabrics and cutting them up into little bitty teeny tiny pieces and then sewing them all back together. People think I'm crazy for it. But I think that the process is a lot of fun. I really enjoy the process. And I love sewing. I think it's very therapeutic. And I really like the designs that you end up making because they're all, for the most part, they're all geographical designs. Geographical? No, no, geometric. Geometric designs. Squares, triangles, rectangles. Yes, you can make circles. I've never done it. And I don't know that I ever will. Maybe, years from now I will make circles, but for right now, I'm going to stick with the easier shapes, the more kindergarten shapes. No, stop. The top that way. All right, so check to make sure. It starts at the top, comes down, and then goes back up, which is what we want. So then we can go ahead and start sewing the pieces together. Now, last time I did this, I sewed it on the other side, and that actually helped really well. So if I do it this way, but then I have to sew it upside down. I do it. I don't know what I did last time. We're just gonna do it this way. We'll figure it out. All right. Again, we're back checking on those ends. My machine has an auto setting, so I have it set to that, but you're always going to want to reverse a couple stitches, do a couple stitches forward and then a couple stitches reverse and then keep going forward, and that kind of locks in your stitches so that they don't pull apart. That's what they call back tacking or locking them in, or there's a bunch of different ways that people talk about it. But that's what we're doing so that they don't come apart. And my machine does 3 stitches, so yeah. Making sure to nest up those seams. The Bargellos, as I've mentioned a few times, I'm sure by now, the Bargellos have a lot of seams that need to be nested up. So, taking them through. Well, all right, and then we finger press the edges. And again, because we're not really matching up the seams after this with the block, we can just kind of put them all in one direction. Ugh. All right. Oh, that one's gonna be a pain. All right. Just there we go. If you're just joining me, first of all, thank you for joining. My first ever live stream. I have no idea what I'm doing, as is evident by the video quality of this video. I've managed to select a filter somehow and don't know how to turn it off. So so the colors are awful. So I apologize for that. I will figure it out. We're working on the Bargello Table Runner. Not the one we started, well, the same table runner we started in the video, just a different colorway. This is the second set of colors that you may have seen in the video. And if you haven't seen that video yet, I encourage you to go over to my channel and take a look at that. There is a giveaway going on for that video. I'll be giving away a small pocket calendar from Cotton Cuts. I have two. I'm grateful enough to have two, and I don't need two. So I would like to pay it forward and give one of those away. Angel is with us. She's just off camera. She's just outside the camera. She's literally like right there. she's, she's a bit camera shy today, which is unusual for her. She enjoys being the center of attention. So Angel is a 19, 18-year-old domestic cat. All black. She's an old girl. And she desperately needs to be brushed. Which is convenient since my daughter, whose bedroom this is and whose cat that is coming home for spring break soon. So she can tend to Angel's coat. All these seams. The Bargello has a lot of seams. If you're new to quilting or not good with nesting seams, I do not recommend trying this Bargello. The Bargello was actually one of the first full-size quilts that I decided to make. Not my smartest move. No, it was a struggle. It took me so long to make that quilt because of the seams and the sizes of the strips, and it was a challenge, but it turned out beautiful. You don't really see any of the flaws in it, which is one of the nice things about quilting is that I like is you don't usually see too many of the flaws, and even if you do, that's part of the character of the project. So if you're just joining us, I'd love to know. I'd love for you to say hi to me in the chat, and let me know what you are working on today. Whether it be a quilting project or a hobby, or maybe you're just folding laundry. I don't know, but I'd love to hear from you. Don't be shy. Okay. I almost put this one on backwards. This is why I always double check. Make sure those pieces are lining up correctly. I'm so sorry for the yawning. You know, if this was a video, I would have edited that out. Doing a live stream is much different than a video. The videos, I know if I make a mistake or I do something weird or make a strange movement or I'm too loud or too soft or things like that, I know I can fix all of that. The live stream, I can't fix any of that. Just like I can't fix the video quality. I wish I knew what I did. I really do, so that I can fix it for you guys because it's awful. I know it's awful, but next one, it'll be better on the next one. You know, you gotta learn how to do it, right? I also think that I can find some non-copyrighted music that I could play in the background. I know I follow another YouTuber who does not do anything cold related. He does games, but he knows how to play. He has a source that can play non-copyrighted music. So maybe I'll try and figure out how to do that and play some of that in the background for the next one. That way it's not quite so quiet. The quiet always makes me crazy. I can't think when it's quiet. It's probably why I talk so much, so that I can fill in the quiet. Go. Yeah, this. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's a piece of black fabric that we put in here. And again, if you watch the video, you heard me say too, from our Step This Way quilt that we worked on. Oh, there's Angel. From our Step This Way quilt that we worked on, there's a strip of black fabric in here because I ran out of strips, duplicated strips, and apparently the black fabric is not cut to 2.5 inches as I thought it was. I should have checked, and I didn't. So as I'm sitting here, and I've already sewn all the pieces up together, so as I'm trying to sew these pieces now, it's probably 1/4 inch too short. So I'm having to like manipulate the fabric and stretch it or move it around to try and get it to go where it needs to go so that all the seams nest up. And well, if I'm being honest, it doesn't match up very well. But you're not going to notice it too much once the quilt is all together and then quilted and we wash it, because when we wash it, all the pieces will shrink a little bit. So hopefully they will all kind of fix itself when the time comes. I'm hoping. But you know, it's not perfect. That's just how things go. Um, Angel is over here on the floor behind me. I have a different mic in today. I have this one here on my head. That's this thing hanging from my ear if you guys can't see it. It's a different mic. I'm trying out something different. But so you probably can't hear her in the background. This way. Whew, almost did it again. But if you can hear her, there she went. She's around. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please consider, I ask that you consider doing so. Um, I have 16 subscribers as of today, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a huge deal for me. It's really exciting to see that. Um, to be honest, I thought I'd get four, the people in my family, that was it. So, well, I guess technically there's seven people in my family, but I expected there to only be four subscribers. So, for there to be 15 or 16 subscribers is a pretty big deal. So, I'm really grateful for that. And supposedly, if you subscribe to the channel, there's some type of weird notification thing that pops up. I have no idea how it works, but um, some type of weird dinosaur. I have to figure out how to fix it. Here, let me see if I can get it to play for you guys. I saw it on there yesterday. Let's see. Here you go. Ready? Some weird dinosaur. I have no idea how to change that, but I'm not into dinosaurs, so we're gonna need to figure out how to fix that. I'll look into that another day. We are almost halfway through this third block. I'm sewing up the smallest middle strip right now. And so then the pattern will start to go back up the other way. And then we just get to sew up everything together, and then we're all done. Finger press this little bitty teeny tiny strip. This middle strip is only 1 inch wide when you cut it, and then when you're sewing a quarter of an inch on either side, it turns out to be half an inch by the time everything is said and done. So it's really small. It's really tiny. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier today, this morning, my husband and I had a virtual breakfast with our daughters. We have 5 girls, 4 of which are currently in college in various grades. And so one of the things that we started doing this year, because we used to do Sunday breakfasts at our house every other Sunday when all of our kids were together. Um, he and I are both divorced. He has 3 girls, I have 2. And so when we would have the girls together on weekends, and so we would do a Sunday breakfast for all of us, it was something that was important to he and I, especially when we first started dating and first started living together. Was something that was really important, that we all kind of came together as a family and did something special as a family. And so family breakfast has always been something that's been really important to he and I. And I like to think that it's important to the girls as well, in to some capacity. But so we do family breakfast virtually on Google, once a month on Sundays. And so the kids are making their own breakfasts, and we're chatting about different stuff. And it can get a little crazy, like a normal Sunday morning breakfast with 7 people, and dogs barking and phones ringing and people talking over each other. And it's everybody kind of keeps in touch for the most part, so we have a pretty good idea of what everybody's doing. But it's still nice to have that sense of normalcy, that sense of family unit, and kind of being able to reconnect with everybody together. So we did that this morning. That was a lot of fun. And then I came in here to start this project and to check my stats on my YouTube channel. I like to check them every once in a while. I don't worry too much about them. I understand my channel is really, really new, and I don't really expect there to be a whole lot of movement on it for anytime soon. But I do like to check it, and I noticed that my Go Live button was available. So I thought I'd give it a try. And so, first ever live stream. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I've mentioned that a few times now. So if you've been watching the whole stream, I appreciate you sticking around with me, um, and listening to me ramble on and on and on. But yeah, first ever live stream. No idea what I'm doing. Camera quality is awful. I'm not even sure the audio is great. I probably should turn it down a little bit more. I'm trying to talk quiet when I'm not a quiet person. I'm not loud. I'm just, what is a good word? My my voice carries. Is probably a good way of putting it. I'm not yelling. I just talk really loud. Um, so yeah. So I decided to go live, and then I pushed the button that says go live, and it says you're live, and I'm like, oh no, that's not what I wanted to do yet. So then I had to kind of back out of that and figure out what the heck I was doing first, which I still don't know. And then I scheduled a live, and I said, okay, well, at least give myself a little bit of time here to kind of get ready. So I'll schedule a live, and then it said you need a streaming software. Like, huh? So I went on and I just grabbed one that I had heard of from some of the other YouTubers that I watch live streams for, and so I just grabbed that for now. Um, and one of the first things that it asked me about was a filter on my camera, and so I was trying to mess around with them to see what would look nice and what wouldn't, and but then I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. So I have no idea what's on, but I know it's not right. Um, we'll figure it out. I will figure it out. I thought about not going public with this video, just doing private one because you can do a private one too. But then I thought, well, what's the fun in that? How do I know if the video is actually working if there's no way for anybody to see it or respond to it? So I went live just so that hopefully somebody would come on and tell me if they could hear me or not. So something new to learn. And then I went to go schedule and it's like, oh, you need a thumbnail. I'm like, I was not prepared to create a thumbnail. And then I had to quick go over to the program that I've been using to make my thumbnails. I had to quick go over there and come up with something just randomly to get it working. Um, I promise I will be more prepared the next time I do this. Um, so hopefully it'll look a little better. And who knows, by then I'll be able to figure out how to get the bot to work because there's a chat bot. Start putting links and stuff in there. That could be fun. I'll figure it out. You just keep pushing buttons enough, eventually you figure out what happens. Or, you accidentally go live. It is what it is. My subscribers are nice enough to know that I have no idea what I'm doing. And so if random things just pop up on the channel, just go with it, okay? I will figure it out eventually. Hopefully before too long. But I think I'm getting pretty good at the editing thing. I'm getting better at it. I'm by no means an expert, but I think that my videos they're they're getting easier to edit. They're still nowhere perfect, but I am figuring out how to add music to them and how to cut things. Now I just have to figure out how to get the picture in picture to work so that like when I talk to you guys about like the cotton cuts, colorway, I can actually like put a picture of it, in the corner, um, of what the colorway looks like and things like that. Um, Someday I'll figure that out. But every day I play with it a little bit more and figure it out. I'm still having a lot of fun with it, and to me, that's the most important thing. Um, that's basically what I've told everybody I've talked to, that as long as I'm still having fun with it, I'll keep doing it. As soon as it starts to become work and I don't have fun with it anymore, then I probably will stop. But who knows? Maybe it'll turn into something someday. Who knows? Of course, it's never going to turn into anything if I can't figure out this video quality. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I can't even look at the video. Honestly, it makes me dizzy. So I can only imagine what it's like for you guys. But I really, really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. That just shows me how much you care. So I really appreciate that. All right, two more. Two more. Anybody have any fun plans for Easter? My family doesn't really celebrate Easter. We're not. It's it's just not really a thing in my family. We used to. We used to do family gathering for Easter every year, but it, it just became a little too much, I think, for everybody to try to do. So it's not really something that we celebrate in my family. In fact, Easter used to be my holiday. I used to cook for Easter when the kids were little. Um, when they were really little, like really, really little. I think I did it 3 or 4 times, I think. And then it just kind of became. My house is not really big, as is evident by my sewing room. The rest of the house isn't much bigger. So entertaining for family is not really easy to do at my house. And then we redid our kitchen a couple years ago, and so now we don't actually have a kitchen table at all anymore. So that makes it even more challenging to try and have a family meal when you don't have a table for them to sit at. But that doesn't mean I regret the new design of my kitchen. I don't at all. It just makes it more difficult to have family events unless the weather's nice and everybody can sit outside. Um, I do remember one year for the girls' birthday. Like I mentioned before, but their birthday, my twin daughter's birthday is the end of March. And one year we had everybody come over for their birthday, and it was like 80 degrees outside. It was beautiful. Everybody sat outside. It was just gorgeous. Um, I don't think we're going to be that lucky this year. Although, it's a couple weeks away, so who knows? We might end up being that lucky. Although I think they said something about snow today or tomorrow, so who knows? Winter is still hanging on. I am up here in the upper Midwest, I guess you would consider it the upper. Yeah, probably the upper Midwest. Um, the weather here is just all kinds of crazy. I can't decide what it wants to do. One day it's warm, one day it's cold, next day it's snowing, then it's raining. Yesterday we had severe thunderstorms. So my backyard is flooded, and then later it'll freeze, and then we'll have an ice rink in the back. So that'll be fun. The dogs really, really enjoy the ice rink. All right, guys, last strip, and then I'm gonna have to check the directions to see how to put these together because I don't know how. So, and now we have a 3-inch strip that we sew onto the end of each of the blocks, but I'm not sure if the 3-inch strip stays straight or if it follows the pattern or not. So I'm gonna have to read the directions to find out. I'm gonna have to read the pattern to find out, not the directions. There we go. There we go. Some of these just do not want to line up. They take a little finagling. Nesting seems as easy to do. It really slows down the process when you have this many to do. You just basically feel it with your fingers. You can really feel if there's a bump in it or a gap in it, or if it kind of flows nice and smooth. It's easy to do. It really is. It's just it slows down the process when you have this many of them. All right. We're gonna turn the iron back on. There's an auto offsetting for safety reasons, so I gotta turn it back on. Finger press it here. And we're gonna press this one down. There we go. There's our third one. Doesn't that look good? All right. So let me grab this board again. So we're gonna press that, and then we're going going to add our 3-inch strips, which should be these, right? Yeah, these are the 3-inch strips. But now I got to read the directions because I don't remember how to do this. So let's see if I can find the picture. Okay, so the picture does show that it goes up and down. Okay, so interesting. Okay, all right. So I have to lay out the strips. Well, they're all the same, so I can probably just do them all the same way. So the iron is almost warm. Well, it is getting warm. Put this down. There we go. Pull these out. Put them over. Okay, so there it is. There's that. I actually need to go up one, like that. Pull it out here. Ugh. And they're all pulled out the same way, so we can just pull it like we are almost done with this table runner, guys. Almost. Well, I shouldn't say we're almost done with the table. We're almost done with the top for the table runner. The table runner itself will need to be sandwiched and then free motion quilted and all that other jazz, which, like I said, I have ordered the background for it, fabric for it. So I will probably, I'm going to pick up the video section, I guess it's go. Um, Once the backing comes in, we're going to finish the other colorway that we had picked out. And then, why did we do that? I have to pull the other 3 apart. We'll do that on a video for the first one, and then this one we will probably do maybe on another live. Wouldn't that be fun? That one. There are 4 of these 3-inch strips. So I'm just pulling them all apart the same way because they go on the ends of each of the blocks to kind of tie them all together. So oven, the oven. Listen to me. The iron is hot again. So we'll get that in just a second. There we go. Last one. This one here, right? Nope, did this one wrong. Okay, but I got the sewing machine right here. Oh. That didn't go very well. Just making mistakes. Gotta learn from them, right? So I pulled out the wrong seam and then I sewed it back together. And then when I sewed it back together, I didn't have it lined up all the way. So I only have like an itty bitty, teeny tiny. I don't know if you guys can see, but lighting is terrible. But this itty bitty, teeny tiny amount here that's not right. So I'm gonna pull it apart so that it doesn't actually fall apart. But you know, if you weren't meant to make mistakes, then they wouldn't have invented a seam ripper, right? On all my quilting pages, they call seam rip or something. I can't remember what they call it, but they basically refer to it as a person. Oh, Jack. That's right, Jack the Ripper. Yeah, they say they had to spend time with Jack today. Some of them say something like they've become intimately acquainted with Jack this week, things like that. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's try this again. Okay, pull it back out, pull it back open, and then pull apart this seam. All right. And this is why it's so important to have a nice sharp seam ripper. If you guys haven't seen my video on preparing for a new project, make sure you check that out. I show you how to test out your seam ripper to make sure that it is sharp enough to keep moving. I keep a bunch of them. I have 4 of these like this, and then I have a bunch of little cheapos because you want they get dull pretty quickly. Okay, mine get dull pretty quickly because I make a lot of mistakes and I have to use them a lot. Maybe for normal people, they don't dull as often as mine. So I end up having to rotate them out quite a bit because they get dull. And if they get dull, then they're harder. They don't cut they cut the fabric more so than the thread, and they make holes in your fabric. And obviously, you don't want holes in your fabric. So I try and make sure that they stay nice and sharp, which is why I recycle them out or rotate them out so much. So, okay, so there's the 4 strips. Iron is still hot, thank goodness. Where did my little top go? Okay, guys, where did it go? Did anybody see what I did with the top? To my seam ripper, did it fall on the floor while I wasn't looking? If you saw it, let me know where. Oh, here it is. I found it. Thanks for your help. Okay, put these aside for now. Let me iron this up real quick. Makes it easier to sew if it's nice and flat. You can use if you're doing this project or any project and you've sewn up all your pieces and now you're ironing it flat and it just won't go very flat, you can use some of your best press again. Spray some of that starch best press on there again and get it nice and flat. You can also use I've been looking into one and I haven't bought one yet, but I've been looking into a I forgot the name of it now. It's it's basically a wooden block that sits on the fabric after you've sewn it, and it absorbs the heat from the iron, the residual heat that was left on the fabric from the iron, and it keeps it nice and flat. So then that way it kind of, I can't believe I can't remember the name of it now. A clapper. A tailor's clapper is what they call it. It's basically just a block of wood in various sizes so that it stays nice and flat. And I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but I absolutely love my cordless iron. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it or not. This one is actually it's used. I bought it on eBay because it's purple. I know it doesn't look purple on the video, but I promise you it's purple. Um, but I always wanted one, but I wasn't willing to spend the money for a brand new one. So I thought, you know what, I'll buy a used one, and if I really like the used one, then maybe I'll be willing to spend the money on a new one. And right now, new ones, they only make them in blue and black. So I couldn't get a purple one even if I wanted to. But I really like it. I like the fact that it holds the heat for quite a while. I mean, you guys have seen how long I've been sitting here ironing without having to recharge it. It has a removable water tank. It does have some steam water in it because I did fill it with water at one time and then I dumped the water out. Um, it doesn't leak, but I just decided I didn't want to use the steam setting anymore. So I took the water out of it. There we go. There we go. All right. Block 3 is done. Yay. Okay. So now we got to sew the blocks together. We have 3 blocks and 4 3-inch strips that we're going to sew together. And then we're done. Hang that back up. Right now it doesn't matter which way the blocks face, which is the top, which is the bottom, as long as they all face the same direction. So I am going to do arrow down, just because I can. So all 3 of my blocks have the arrows. I'm just going to double check. Make sure all 3 of my blocks have the arrows pointed down, and they're all relatively close to the same size, so I don't need to trim them too much. But now would be a great time for you to check to make sure that all your blocks are the same size and to trim them up if they're substantially different. I think I have this middle one is probably, was it like 1/8 of an inch? It's like 1/8 of an inch bigger than the others, but you're not really going to notice that when you sew them all up together. And the seams don't have to meet up anyway. Well, the seams do have to meet up, but it won't be that big a deal. It'll work out. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. And then here's my pieces. And so now we're just going to sew up the 3 blocks together with the 4 strips. And my chair pad moved, so I'm going to have to adjust that. And then we're all done for today, at least with this project. All right. I'm going to move these strips. I'll just put them on my lap. So first we sew a strip on one side, then we sew a strip on the other side, then we sew the block to the next strip. And that will make our table runner. I have no idea how big the table runner is going to be. No clue. I didn't measure. I'm sure it says on here somewhere. It doesn't. It'll be a surprise. It's always fun. Again, back to our regular stitch length, making sure to turn the back tack feature on. Obviously, I can do it manually if I want to. I don't have to turn the feature on, but use it if you got it, right? All right. Match up those seams. Make sure you're getting all your seams nested up nicely. Remember to go slow, take your time. One of these days, I will listen to my own advice and then I won't make any mistakes. But then if I do that, then what on earth would I put on this channel? Then I might actually be able to have to call myself an expert, and we don't want that. What do you guys think of this camera angle? This is a different angle than I normally use with my videos. I kind of like it a little bit because you guys can kind of see everything. I mean, obviously the color is just awful, but you can kind of see everything that's going on. I actually kind of like the angle from that perspective. I might try to do this angle in my videos. See how it works out. This is in my way. This is when all the stuff that you got sitting around your machine is all starts to get in the way, because this is when the project actually starts to get bigger. There you go. All right. First one is done. I'm really excited to see what this looks like. As I'm sitting here staring at the pieces, I don't see the movement of a Bargello like I was hoping I would. But when I hold it up and show you guys on the camera and I look at it on the screen, I can see the movement. So I'm really excited to see what this actually looks like. All right, so here's this one now. Make sure we sew it on the correct side. So this is the second strip now on the other side, and then we'll sew the next block up to this strip. So let's see how it goes. Get those seams nested. All right. There is the other block. And again, it doesn't really matter which direction the seams go because we're not actually going to be nesting them up to anything. If we were nesting them, then we would want to pay a little bit more attention. But we're not. All right, so now we're going to sew up the next block. However, the thread on my machine just pulled out, so I got to rethread it. All the wonderful things you guys get to see on the live stream that you never see on the the videos because I usually edit them out. There we go. Picking on all the extra threads. I had to pull out the brush sometimes before to clean up the pieces, and it's all the stuff you guys don't get to see. All right. Want to make sure I put the block the same direction or the direction it's supposed to go. And then these seams here will nest up just fine. I'm gonna move this one because it's gonna slide all over the place. Right. Away we go. So now this is when you really struggle when you have a small sewing space, is working with these bigger pieces, because the weight of them has a tendency to kind of move them around a bit, and they kind of get moved around. So I'm glad I have this extra table piece here on my cabinet that helps, but they still move around quite a bit. I've mentioned it before in a lot of my videos. If you guys are more comfortable pinning, absolutely do that. I stopped making garments, like clothing sewing, because I can't stand the pinning. So I try to avoid the pinning when I can. It's not to say I don't. You guys have seen me. I do pull out the pins if I'm struggling to keep something together. But if I can avoid the pinning, I will avoid pinning. Which is one of the other reasons why I prefer why I've liked quilting, because I don't have to pin anything, at least the majority of the time. Nesting up those seams. That's the theme for today's video, is just nesting seams. All right. Go ahead and finger press that. It's a little bit more of a challenge since it's a little bit bigger, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Gotta grab the right seam. All right. Let's see what we got going on here so far. Okay. So far, so good. Now we have to put another 3-inch piece on the block, and I think it goes on this side. Yeah, it goes on this side. All right. Fold this so it doesn't get too heavy on me. Roll it. Kind of got a little Kitty Wampus here. Work with that seam. Oh. Nest up those seams. All right. All right, guys, we got one block left and then one strip left, and then we can do a reveal. Ta-da! Oh, I have a piece stuck there. Okay. All right, next block. I want to make sure that arrow gets pointed down, and you want to make sure you're paying really close attention to how you're putting your blocks on, because the design is going to do one of these. So it's actually going to get really hard to tell which way if you were going up or down. So I said my arrows are going to be pointing down, or we're going to go down. So that's why I'm sticking to that. And that's basically the only way I know which direction I'm going. You guys will be able to see it in just a minute. As soon as we're done here. Some of these seams are going the wrong directions. So we're just going to try and fix that. All right, guys. One last strip, and that's all we got. I almost thought we were done. We're so close. All right. Finger press this. There we go. Last strip. Last one. Like I said, when you're starting to put your blocks together, that's when your small sewing space really becomes an issue. Because I got stuff everywhere. You guys can see it's like everywhere right now. It's all rolled up. All right. No peeking. I'll show you the quilt when it's done. Oh, I just got a notification that So Becca is going to go live with her stream here shortly. So that's perfect timing because I don't want to compete with her. Not that I am competing with her, and no one's really watching this one compared to. Thanks, Lucas. No worries. I appreciate you coming back. We're almost done here. As I said, So Becca, I just got a notification that So Becca is going to be going live soon. So I'm excited to watch her stream in a little while. I'm glad that mine isn't going to overlap it because we are just about done here. And welcome back, by the way, Lucas. Thank you for coming back. All right, guys, we are on the home stretch now. Last piece. Here we go. Just gotta back tack it, and then we are all done. All right. Finger press it so it lays flat. Now I will go ahead and press this hardcore after the stream. But ready? Here we go. Here it is, guys. Ta-da! See the movement? I hope you can. I can't, but I'm hoping you guys can. Ta-da! So it's a pretty decent sized table runner. Oh, wow. I can see it now. Oh, wow, that is so pretty. You know, when I was thinking that black was going to be the accent fabric, but I don't think so at all. I think those greens are the accent. I probably should have put that dark green. Where am I? Where's my finger? I probably should put that dark green up closer to that black, but wow, look at that. There you go. That's what it looks like. Isn't that awesome? Well, that's it, guys. We're all done for today. I really appreciate you joining me for my very first ever live stream. Um, if you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing. And yeah, so I think the next project we do will be something else. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I don't even know when I'm going to do another live, so that'll be exciting. So anyway, thanks so much, guys. Hopefully there'll be another video this week. I've got some personal stuff going on this week, so I'm not sure if I'll get one out by Thursday or not, but I'm going to try. As always, like, subscribe. If you need to email me for anything, you have any questions, feel free to email me. Otherwise, I will see you guys again maybe next week. Who knows? All right. Thanks again. I will see you guys soon. Have a happy Sunday. Enjoy your day off. Hopefully, you have the day off of work. Oh, gosh, some people don't. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.